I've talked about socks a lot over the years, specifically in regards to their importance when it comes to comfort. With that said, over the last 10 years, socks have gotten a lot more complex with the addition of grips, typically along the bottom of your foot, to reduce slippage, increase overall responsiveness, and in a lot of cases actually increase the overall comfort because of that reduced movement inside of your boots. And I've been pretty vocal about my overall opinion on grip socks in that I think they're really effective, but I also think that they're way too expensive. $40 for a single pair of socks is way too much money, and quite frankly, grip socks don't need to be as expensive as they are. So with that exact idea in mind, over the last year, I've been developing my own grip socks. I went through about 20 different design changes. Obviously, I've tested the socks myself thoroughly, but I also seeked out the help of several professional athletes across a variety of different sports, as well as fellow boot nerd J-Mike, to come to this final design that I have to say I'm really happy with. The goal was simple: no gimmicks, no made up tech, just good quality socks with grips in the places you need it most, all for a fair price, that price being $14.99. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely excited to present to you Pure Grip socks. I'm gonna give you guys a full breakdown of the socks in just a second, but if you're interested in a pair for yourself, they're available in limited quantities at puregripsocks.com. They're of course available in either black or white for the time being, and in 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Also, for those wondering, we do ship internationally, and similar to the socks, I wanted to keep everything as affordable as possible, so all of the shipping prices, including international shipping, are kept as low as possible. So if you're interested in trying out some Pure Grip socks for yourself, again, the website to get them is puregripsocks.com. There'll be a direct link to that down below in the description, and if you're just looking for more Pure Grip socks content, you can follow us on Instagram at Pure Grip Socks. While this has nothing to do with performance, one thing that I wanted to make sure was that the socks were aesthetically pleasing, because I think most people would agree with me in saying that a lot of grip sock designs are quite ugly. And I'm not talking about the foot part, I'm talking about the part that wraps your ankle and calf area, where they all try to come up with this weird design so you know what type of grip sock it is. I have gone for a completely different approach, where it's just a simple stripe with the word Pure, a white stripe with black lettering on the black socks, and of course a black stripe with white lettering on the white socks. I just think this is super clean. You can even wear it casually. Trust me, I've been doing it every single day for the last year, and I just think it's a really nice looking design. Something that I've noticed about a lot of grip socks that I've tried over the last year is that there's a lot of effort put into the grips, but very little effort put into the actual sock, which is kind of a backwards way of doing things in my opinion, because the sock is super important when it comes to fit as well as overall comfort. And a lot of grip socks out there, they utilize the cheapest base sock, but then spend all their money on the grips, and that's just not the right way to do it. The sock that we have here, I changed the materials up about 10 times, and I've changed the actual knitting of the sock, so the patterns and the thickness, probably about 5 or 6 times over the last year to come to this final variation, where I really feel like we have this perfect balance of softness, stretchiness, as well as overall durability. The footbed across the bottom is nicely padded, but it's not overly thick. It fits very closely around the front part of your foot along your toes. There's no extra material hanging off the edges. There's no extra material hanging at the heel, as long as you get the right size, so everything feels good there. Across the top of the foot, we went with this really thin mesh material that allows for very solid ventilation. When you pull your boots off, you can immediately feel the air flowing through the socks on your foot, giving you this nice cooling sensation. So there is a breathability aspect to the sock as well. And then as far as the part that wraps the lower part of your ankle and calf, we want to maintain a good amount of tightness so the socks stay in place. And overall, it's a really solid base sock, more comfortable, I would say, than the vast majority of the grip socks that are out there right now. Now, if you look at most of the grip socks that are currently available, they're all pretty similar in terms of their overall design, where every brand has their own generic shape for the grips themselves. In the case of Pure Grip socks, all the grips are in the shape of little triangles, but typically what you'll find with a lot of these grip socks is it's just one continued pattern across the bottom of the foot. Very little thought actually went into how the grips are placed, and I don't think having grips everywhere is actually the right way of doing things. You can have too much grip that can actually lead to discomfort. And hear me out for a second. We went through about 5 or 6 different designs of grip patterns, and we ended up with this as a final design, and I'm really happy with how it feels, both in terms of adding grip, but also feeling really comfortable. You can see it is a repeating triangle pattern, and through the forefoot and toe box area, a part of your foot that's always in contact with the base of the boot, there are plenty of grip, so you have really good coverage there. But then as we get through the midfoot, and you can see the socks are labeled left and right, they are mismatched, the grip runs on a diagonal and leaves the medial side of your foot, specifically where your arch is located, free of any grips. And the logic behind that is that when you're actually wearing your boots, the arch of your foot, especially in a football boot, is typically being grabbed pretty hard by the upper itself, and you don't want the sock to be grabbing that part of the upper, because as you bend your foot and just move around in general, that part of the upper needs to slide freely against your sock or against your foot, not only for maximum comfort, but just to reduce any kind of extra friction. You don't need that added grip there. It's not helping responsiveness, it's just making the sock kind of bunch up and pull in different directions. So we didn't put grips in there for that specific reason. And then as you get back to the heel, the grips of course cover the entire heel area, and then of course running up the back. We didn't want to have too much extra grip in the heel liner area, so we added 2 little strips of triangles right there that do a really good job of helping to grip the inside of the heel liner, again, to help your foot stay locked in place inside of the football boots. There are way too many grip socks currently available that don't have grips that run up the back of the heel, and it makes absolutely no sense. And as for the grips themselves, we didn't really reinvent the wheel here. We just placed them on the foot in a way that seemed very logical and felt right. They're made out of a rubbery material. They provide plenty of extra grip, kind of giving you that stickiness on the underside of your foot, exactly where you need it, as well as at the back of your heel, and then this nice, soft, comfortable feel inside of the sock. And this kind of brings me back to the original reason why I created Pure Grip socks in the first place, and that is that a lot of grip socks out there, certainly the more popular brands that I'm sure a lot of you watching this video have already tried, range in price between $30 to $40 for a single pair, which is a ton of money for socks. I don't care what the heck they're made out of. I don't care what kind of grips they have. It's just way too much, and there's no reason for it. So what I provided you guys with in Pure Grip socks is a good quality product that performs the part, that was designed with logic in mind, and costs a fraction of the price. For $14.99, you have a really, really solid pair of grip socks. And that's pretty much the whole story, guys. I hope this video didn't come across as Josh reviewing his own products and having only nice things to say, because that's not what I was trying to do. But I've spent a lot of time, effort, and money in developing these socks. I'm really happy with how they turned out. And I hope those of you that are on the market for a pair of grip socks and would like to save a little bit of money, give these a try, because ultimately you guys will be the final judge in terms of whether or not this becomes a successful product. I hope it will be, but only time will tell. Like I said, the socks are available in limited quantities at puregripsocks.com. There's a direct link to that down below in the description. And if they end up being popular enough and you guys like them enough, then we can definitely talk about adding some colors and having an entire line of grip socks under the Pure Grip Socks brand. Again, puregripsocks.com, Instagram at puregripsocks. All of that is linked down below. Thank you so much for your support, guys. None of this would be possible without you. And if you guys enjoy this and are excited about this project, please don't forget to support this video with a like, maybe share it with a friend who would be interested in some grip socks as well. And that's pretty much it for me in this one. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you guys enjoy the socks. We'll see you in the next one.